Everybody, it's Victor. It's time another run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Happy Saturday, Mosh Pit. I hope you had a great start to your weekends here. Well, it looks like we're going to have to change the like streak goal quite a bit here because we didn't get a single tally for the missing no week, and that's okay. You know, it just happens. So give me a couple days, and I'll figure out something even more exciting, hopefully anyway. And we might even have to look at lowering the like streak goal a little bit, just because obviously with everything going on with the ad blockers, and no one really knows what's going on with YouTube in terms of what views count, what likes count. I don't know. So we'll look into it. But either way, thank you all very much for all the support as always on the Isaac series. Here's your screenshot of the day, sent in by, I'm going to say Macedone, or it could just be Mace Done. On the Invictus subreddit, top thread was just simply, what? Then in the thread, they said, how is this even possible? So I was a little bit confused because this is something that does happen from time to time, but this might be the first time this person's seen this before. But if you don't know what you're looking at, is a planetarium that has appeared inside of Shoal. Now, the planetarium counts as a special spawn room, and there have been many times where we've seen a library in Shoal, and in this case, I guess a couple item rooms may have been skipped, or you just got lucky and they showed up in Shoal. Curse the XO. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, November Mike Juliet 4, Alec. We got Blue Baby's Only Friend, and we also have the Book of Secrets. But with 1 HP. Yeah, and I'm just going to pretend that Blue Baby's Only Friend is not here, because if I try to rely on this thing to do our primary source of damage, it's going to get us killed with this damage and with this lack of HP. So we got to be real careful here. There's a half heart. Obviously, we cannot go into the curse room right now because, well, that would literally just, I mean, that'd be it. It'd be a suboptimal play. Let's put it that way. Book of Secrets will give us a little bit of mapping and sometimes the blue map effect. There goes our double deal, by the way, so pretty happy about that already. It took us 2 rooms to get there. Sun card, well, the Sun card's going to at least allow us to see the map, but we've already lost our double deal, so a little bit moot at this point, and that is the very big problem about starting with a Curse of the XL. And a lot of people out there, a lot of people who are XL defenders are like, oh, there's amazing reasons why XLs are great, especially on floor 1 and 2. Yeah, well, what happens whenever you don't have any soul hearts or bone hearts or anything to protect your very valuable first devil deal? Well, you lose it. You lose it, and not saying that wouldn't have happened on a regular floor 2. I'm just saying with a start anyway, we have the bare minimum of items. All right. We haven't seen Soy Milk yet in November, and I don't even think we saw it in No, we did see it in October for one of the Omega runs, I think. This is the first November Soy Milk though, so we got to be locked in here. And we get the Rosary, which is going to absolutely help our survivability. And there's pretty much no way on Earth I'm going to be able to safely go and fight with 1 HP against a boss with base damage Soy Milk. But obviously I love Soy Milk. Soy Milk is a great base foundation, if you will, for a good tier effect build, as it does have an insane fire rate, which is pretty much the only reason why you want Soy Milk. But it also comes with another reason why you like Soy Milk, or at least I like Soy Milk, is because it does come up with a natural 20/20, but you just have to be careful with your damage, because obviously damage is it's more than handicapped. But if you get enough tier effects, Soy Milk can just absolutely hard carry you, which is where I'm hoping that we're going with this run here. We still need bombs. Gonna be Limehorn. Now we're gonna try to keep the fires going as long as possible because of that reason right there. So for that reason, I'm going to try to use Blue Baby's Only Friend a little bit more just in this fight. Of course, he's already taken out 2 fires as I started my strategy here. So thank you, Limehorn. Now, obviously, there's still a chance for us to get the double deal, but I would say not bloody likely. So we leave here with a bunch of hearts. I mean, we're set up for the next floor. We need a bomb. We could go. Let's go into go into the shop and just see if we can buy a bomb. We only have enough for one singular bomba. But one bomba could lead to another bomba, and then the next thing you know, we got bombas coming out our bombas. Alex is like, see. Wait. Oh. No me feel. We have fun. What's one of my favorite things whenever Alex and I are talking about art, and I say something that that doesn't. Oh yeah, there's just no bombs in here. Cool, neat. Well, it was a great idea. We might as well finish this room here. If I tell him, hey, I've got the art, I've got the thumbnail this time, because I've got an idea, or mini stros have been just crazy with these floating shots. Let's just say for whatever reason I don't need him to do a thumbnail, and he'll start linking me gifs of basically sad Mexican gifs, and it's very funny to me. And then if something is good happening, then we'll both link each other like happy Mexican gifs and stuff. I will be right back. There's someone knocking on my door. Okay, sorry about that. Have my groceries here. I always put a specific note on the delivery saying, hey, if you could please just drop it off and not ring the doorbell. I don't give a reason other than just do that. And most of the time they do. Sometimes there's a couple overzealous delivery people who just want to make sure that you're home or whatever. I can't get too mad unless I'm getting deliveries at like, freaking 7 a.m., which doesn't happen at all. Be very careful in here, especially. Yep. No. We have one milk, we don't need another. Almond milk and soy milk, surprisingly, do not go together. There's no synergy. There's no milk transformation, even though we have 3 milk items. The other one being chocolate milk. I guess technically 4 because we also have spilled milk. But they do not interact with each other. In fact, almond milk overrides soy milk, which is very bad because soy milk is just so much better than almond milk. In Isaac. Now, as far as actual soy milk versus almond milk, I actually prefer almond milk. If I have to, I prefer dairy over everything, but we got Mama Mega. Do we really need her though? We may or may not. I don't know. What are you? Judgment card. And when it comes to milk, dairy, just cow milk, far and away my #1 favorite. I've born and raised on milk, man. I love it. Although I can't do anything honestly past 1%. But 99.9% of the time, if I'm at home, I only drink skim milk, and it's because anything heavier than that, and I just feel, I don't know, like I can't enjoy my cereal or whatever. I usually drink milk. I frequently drink milk with breakfast, no matter what I'm eating. Unless of course I'm eating cereal, then obviously I don't need to drink milk on top of there being a milk presence in the bowl. Taking a little bit too much damage that I like here. A free bomb, free entry into the super secret room, and we get Empress card. The Soul of Jacob and Hee-Haw, it can be okay. It can really be a huge boost in your DPS, especially for something like Boss Rush or Lamb or Isaac, where you really need that extra oomph. So we'll use the Empress card here and maybe grab the Soul of Jacob and Esau. Now, one thing I don't know about that is whether or not it does actually remove those items that you get on Esau from the item pool. You get some. The perfect tier effect right now is Eye Belial or Deadeye. I would prefer Eye Belial though, so we get the piercing, because obviously another big downside to soy milk is the jostling of Isaac with the clown physics and anything and everything that is flying in the air. There you go. So we get our... It was one room, one floor delayed from us getting our devil deal. No. Soy milk with mom's knife is dramatically terrible. It's really bad. Now, if we actually fired little knives, that'd be really cool, but unfortunately, it just doesn't work like that. Demon Judgment? It is. Look at this, and we even get the blank paper, which proc the Polaroid for us, so that was nice. Okay, now hang on now, come on now. You do not have a double deal precedent, obviously, but if we can manage to get... Oh, we have no money. Hopefully we can get another proc here. There's 3 of these white pills in here. We have 4 range. 4 range and less than base tier speed or shot speed. This is bad. Sure, why not? I normally don't take Loki's horns just because I don't think it really helps us, but if we do end up somehow getting Eye of Belial or Deadeye or something like that with piercing and homing, then we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be just okay. There's a tinted rock in here. We do have one. We have Una Bomba. Got one of them there, Una Bombas. So we will be able to get this chest and the tinted rock. Tinted rock is this one right here, because you can see that X on the top left. We know that the secret room... Well, I guess the secret room could be up there, but I doubt it. Our movement speed's already pretty bad, but we need some more damage here. Any damage... I mean, that does take us over 1.0 damage, so it's, you know, it's needed. Any damage upgrade, and this is one of the positive sides, one of the main draws of soy milk is that any damage upgrades that you get at all are going to be magnified exponentially because of the insane fire rate that you have. So it's a DPS multiplier is what soy milk is. The damage down does hurt because obviously the magnitude of the damage upgrades are reduced by 70%, but your DPS scale is much higher and faster as long as you're getting just incremental damage upgrades. You don't even have to get any of the big ones. In fact, it's probably best not to get the huge ones all at once, which is the reason why you frequently see runs that are very strong with soy milk combined with runs that have keeper sack. Just any little upgrades you can manage, as long as it's on your base damage, is going to go much further with soy milk than they are on any other tier effect in the game. So even small rock, despite us losing more movement speed, we were already at pretty bad movement speed anyway, and we needed to get above 1.0 damage just to start us on our damage journey. One thing we need to stop doing is getting hit here, taking entirely too much damage. And even though we have a lot of HP, it's going to nickel and dime us down to the point where we are not going to be able to sustain ourselves. Because right now, we just simply do not have the damage for it. Yep. All right, let's pray for a very strong item room here. It's a cute game. Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? We don't have an XL floor. That would have been perfect for the first floor in this run, but not here. Get me now. If we end up getting school bag or something in the store, then sure, but That doesn't help us. We need range, we need damage, we need more tiers. I know it seems silly to think about more tiers on a soy milk run, but it is true. It's something that you can improve upon. It's gonna be a nightmare. We gotta take the champion out. You have just enough range to not hit the mushroom there. And we get a Bible for the second time. Eat. All right, let's rein it in here. I'm very upset by the fact that we took damage on that spike. Oh, we can't even hit this barrel. Yeah, this is not great. Infested, I believe, yeah. At this rate, no, we're not going to make boss rush. It's just not going to happen. The math is not mathing here for our time. Damage that we've got. And sometimes you just get bad soy milk runs. We haven't had one in a while, and I'm not saying this one's bad yet, but if we don't get something significant here, we're going to be in some trouble, especially with this lack of range that we've got. Now, game, that's not me saying I want a range upgrade. We need damage and tier effects more than range right now. Yeah, we get the pentagram. I'm only going to touch Guppy's paw. I'm not going to do anything else. And maybe we'll get the Bible for a third time. And yes, I know that us taking the rosary, that's just the risk you take. Just one of those things in Isaac. You know, haha, oh, hey, no, we can't just have a good item be good. No, we've got to have some kind of downside. In this case, the downside is that you have a very small chance of seeing the Bible everywhere you go from the time that you pick up rosary to the end of your run. That's how I said very small chance. And, yep. This range is going to be very, very bad, and it just shows you why we don't take blind pills. There's a tinted rock in here. Really need to start getting some soul hearts here, game. Do not have, I mean, we have the keys, but we don't have the keys. How to jump will at least allow us to get these, got bookworm. It'll allow us to get the, chests here, but we're probably going to lose all these keys. We don't need to touch anything else here because we just got bookworm. I am going to stick with the Satanic Bible because I do not trust this run at all at this point. Heh. Got to be able to jump away immediately because there's going to be some troll bombs. Not. Well, you tried, Isaac. Yeah, I do not trust this run at all. So, as much as I love to have mapping, Satanic Bible, again, just comes down to the simple fact of what do we need more right now? Right now, if we're not going to get any tier effects, then we've got to go for just HP and try to outlive this run. And with us having a guaranteed double deal now coming off of the bosses, means I'm practically throwing away the idea that we're going to get any basic stat upgrades in hopes of us getting a tier effect that can really just kind of take us to the next level of this run. So with 1.33 damage, though, with Soy Milk, that's a pretty good amount. Honestly, the best item we can hope for now, other than Eye of Belial, is honestly Lump of Coal. And, you know, item rooms continue to be bangers here. Good. Lump of Coal and Soy Milk is an amazing, amazing combo. Because it does ramp up your damage so quickly. But, again, a downside of this, in this point, would be also the fact that we've taken that range down, which would then, in turn, lower the damage scaling from Lump of Coal. Which is not what we want. Not at all. Today is all about pluses and minuses. And right now, I feel like we've had a little bit more minuses than pluses. But hopefully we turn it around here. Yeah, boss rush is not happening. Surprisingly, no Bible. Hey, look at us. Look at us thrive. I mean, there's no reason for us not to take this soul hard here. At this point, we're already locked into devil deals. We're already locked into not getting our range back. And there's no devil deal items that I can think of that give us range, exclusively range. That I can think of. Ooh. Now, broken remote. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I just got an idea. Now, if there is one thing that can and will save us, not that we're in dire straits right now, but if we get broken remote and how to jump, we have an instant teleport to anywhere on the map. And if we don't get taken to the spot that I like, we can just simply teleport out. Now, obviously, this does mean that we're not going to have the Satanic Bible, but think of the possibilities. You know what? I know it. Teleport meta, baby. We're in Super Isaac World now. Super Isaac World, Super Isaac World, Super Isaac World. There's going to be very few people who get that reference. As long as they don't accidentally hit the spacebar while we're in a fight, we won't teleport anywhere. Now, a smart person would simply just drop the broken remote, so you just prevent that, and you don't make your active item just not usable. And I don't think anyone ever said that I wasn't smart. I just am lazy. Man, I'm just being honest. Can't be bothered to drop it. Because then I gotta go pick it up, and I mean, who's got that kind of time? Alright, teleport meta, baby. And look at this. Speaking of planetarium, we have one right here. Now, this is a great run for Uranus. Wow, that double tap. We get Mercurius, which is going to give us a movement speed upgrade, which we desperately needed. And because we have Mercurius now, we can just walk through rooms. But it's more fun to teleport around. So we're looking okay right now. What is this? Ace of Hearts. Doesn't really do anything for us. We can actually put some money back in our donation machine. We've been dinging it quite hard lately, so there's not really been anything worth buying in the store on this run. So just do that. Take our Soul of Jacob and Hee-Haw, and we're going to use that for a rainy day. But yeah, this is what you get to see right here is us basically teleporting over and over and over again until we get into the boss room. And that saves us so much on the clearing side of things. Now, here's something else to think about. Whenever we teleport to a new room, we're also mapping out all the rooms around where we go to. So in a way, oh, we just got Seraphim. In a way, we actually are giving ourselves even more mapping than we would with the Book of Secrets. Chubb, where are you going? Seraphim gives us a nice transformation here with us having flying. And that's about it. Really, it doesn't really do anything for our stats, unfortunately. I wish it did. I wish it gave us a Sacred Heart-esque type tier, but it doesn't. More soul hearts than we know what to do with. And it's right back to teleport meta, baby. There's a tinted rock in here, but there's literally no reason for us to bomb it. Literally no reason for us to bomb it. Go now. Yep. Sack room. You also don't have to move when you do this. Ooh. Inky's gonna give us the tears up, which I will take. You notice how it took us into the boss trap room there? It's just a room that we would have never had access to, and there's no way that we would have gotten in there anyway. Unless we lost all of our HP, which of course we haven't yet. Come on, Broken Remote. You know where we want to go. Look at the secret room. Yeah, we can. Yeah, I was gonna say we can just simply walk through there because we have Mercurius. We don't have to teleport directly into the boss battle, although that would be nice. This range, though. You know, just need those tier effects. Got all the bits and pieces here for a good soy milk run, but none of the next step behavior, you know? We got no tier effects at all, unless you count soy milk, which I guess it's a tier effect. I'd say it's more of a status item than anything. Stat changer. Stats booster. Tier effects, you think of Holy Shot, you think of Death's Touch, you think of Eye of Belial, Deadeye. That's a tier effect. Mysterious Liquid. Here we go. Check out our Devil Deal. It is our second Guppy item here. And I think I'm just going to take the Polaroid for now. Now we could go back and get those soul hearts, and we should. Okay, well, works too. Come on down to Teleport Town. We get to an area that looks okay. Never mind. I say if we get to an area that looks somewhat like we're on the right path to the boss, I will just run through with Mercurius. This range is terrifying. Soy Milk Saturday is what they call it. So, oh yeah, I need to update the YouTube mosh pit on things. So, I believe last week, I totally forgot to pull up the video for the question of the episode. I believe last week's episode was the infamous dentist episode where I talked about my skepticism. And so the first fun part about last week's episode, if that was last Saturday's, because I think I went to there on a Friday, maybe. Well, the dentist episode. Hey, nice. So, one fun fact before I update everyone on the conclusion to this story. I think I told the YouTube stream, and I definitely told the Twitch stream, but I did not tell the YouTube mosh pit here. Fun fact about that thumbnail is that X-ray in the window is my actual X-ray from that exam from that one place. And I thought that was pretty neat. The only reason why I wanted to use it was because when I was looking at it in that email, you could see my eye sockets because it was one of those 360 CAT scan things, and it just looked metal as hell. I was like, oh man, this is gonna make a cool thumbnail. I basically gave it to Alex and said, just do whatever works for this. He was like, "Okay." I was like, "C, C. Bueno." So he came up with Dr. Agra and then patient Victa. So that was just a little fun tip there, or fun trivia about that thumbnail. That is my actual CAT scan in that window, in the examination window. So to update everybody on the dentist, I almost said the devil deal, on the dentist story, I did go to my regular dentist, and she basically looked at she looked at the charts, she looked at the plotting and everything. She wanted to do her own tests as well, which is understandable. I went in there not thinking that I needed to get I wasn't planning on anything. I thought she was just going to give me a second opinion. That was that. She ended up wanting to do a teeth cleaning because it's been a long time since I actually had my teeth cleaned. In fact, the last time I did it was by her, and that was 3 years ago. So it's definitely due. So the hygienist came in. She did the cleaning, the scraping, all that kind of stuff, and she also did that I don't know what it's called, the pop charting, the plot charting thing where they take the hook and look for gum recession. And while she was doing it, she had the other one that the other place had done right next to her. And I didn't even prompt her to answer this as a question or anything. She just kind of was just talking about it. She knew the reason why I was there. And she said, I do not know where their numbers are coming from because I'm not getting anywhere close to their levels. There was a couple of 5s, a couple of 6s in their charts, and I'm not even hitting 4 right now. She did eventually find a couple 4s, but no 5s, and definitely no 6s. So I was like, well, that's interesting. Now, isn't that a funny coinky dink there? Because I was told by the other hygienist that if I didn't get this done immediately, I would be losing my teeth because of this rampant gingivitis infection that I have. And the hygienist said, well, technically speaking, if your gums bleed for whatever reason, you do have gingivitis. It's a blanket statement, some form of it. I feel like I've told this story to you all before. I know I told the stream, but anyway, I'll tell it again in case I didn't do it in the actual Isaac episode. So she said, well, technically it does count as gingivitis. It's a little bit more of a blanket statement, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, but in your opinion, is it as bad as they claim to be? And she said, in my opinion, no. I said, well, that's interesting. Isn't that neat? Then she went through with the flossing and the polishing. You know, they put that really not great tasting toothpaste on you, and then they buff it out and polish it, and then they spray it with water for about 10 minutes. The whole waterboarding thing. It's a lot of fun. And I asked her when she was done, I said, so how's everything look after she got done polishing? And she said, yeah, everything looks great. Your teeth are in good shape. There's a couple of problem areas that are definitely going to be something that my doctor is going to want to examine on her own. But she said that she didn't see anything out of the ordinary, and that was it. So I said, okay. So then my regular dentist came in, and again, she knew what I was in there for because I had already previously told her this. She came in and basically started doing her own exam, and she was looking back and forth at the x-rays. She wanted to take her own x-rays. She did take her own x-rays and started to point some stuff out. She said, I see that they saw this here, and I can definitely tell what they're talking about, but it's not to the degree of trying to scare you into losing your teeth and taking out implants and stuff. So, or putting in implants. So I asked her specifically about that tooth because that's the one that she was curious about. And she said, which tooth was it? I was like, oh, is this upper molar of mine? And because the other dentist at the other facility had told me specifically, he said that tooth is done. It has to come out. You're going to lose your jaw. Your jaw is going to have bone recession. All this stuff. It's got to come out. Now I don't know if he misspoke the number of the tooth or if I somehow misremembered it, but I know for a fact that he said number 14, which is the upper molar. And she took multiple x-rays of that tooth just by its own, just to isolate it, to see it. And she looked at it, she said, this is a perfectly healthy tooth, so I don't know what he's talking about. And then I told her, well, they wanted to remove all the crowns and all that kind of stuff. And, they basically wanted to undo all my dental work and put their own in, is what she said. And she said that there are a lot of facilities that are like that in the dental world, where if they have a brand new patient coming off the streets and who already has previous dental work done, they try to undo everything and then put their own system in so they can charge for it again, even though the patient's already paid for it. So that's fun. And I finally said, well, bottom line is, in your opinion, because I know that there's a code. You can't just be like, oh, these guys are full of crap, I said, in your opinion, dude, this fight's rough. This range, this is off. Oh, you know what? Let's go Jacob and Hee-Haw. I said, in your opinion, do you agree? Well, let's put it this way. Do you think I need any of the things that they're talking about? She said, in my opinion, no. You need none of the things that they're talking about. I said, okay, that's all I needed to know. So I paid up for the cleaning and the exam and the x-rays and everything. And while I was in the parking lot, I called that other place and just told them, hey, whatever you guys had for me, just go ahead and cancel it. And the funniest thing about that entire conversation, which lasted about 30 seconds, was that they did not ask why. The receptionist, who I'm pretty sure remembers me, did not say, is there a reason? Did you want to reschedule? Is there a problem? She just said, okay, thank you. I said, okay, thank you. That was it. So that was my fun dentist story. So moral of the story, kids, remember, second opinions are important. If your gut is telling you something feels off, if your instinct is saying, hey, red flag, there's probably a reason to it. Your body and your mind are smarter than you may give it credit for. So listen to your instincts. It pays off, and it would have cost me well over $8,000 if I had listened to that other place. So thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great Saturday. It's a shame that the soy milk run didn't turn out the way we wanted, especially with the horrible range, but we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow holds in store for us in the Binding of Isaac Repentance Plus. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you're new here, it's great to have you in the mosh pit. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks to patrons of mine like Organic Mechanic 270, Avery, Rick Rue, and Peleg R. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Invicta.